Hey everyone, it's Swiss again, and for this tutorial Thursday, we are going over part 3 of Snake's moveset, which is going to be his special attacks. Enjoy the video, everybody. Alright everybody, so we are going to go ahead and get started with Snake's first special move or special attack, and that is going to be Snake's grenade, the one and only. Everybody knows it. It is active frame 1. This is the grenade hitbox as far as just throwing it before it blows up, and then the explosion in general. And then this is the frame data for the grenade. So there's 3 throws. There's a neutral throw, which starts on frame 8. Smash throw, which is the hard throw, comes out frame 10. Underhand throw, which we also call a light throw, is frame 9. That's generally what you need to know about the frame data on that move. But typically for this move, since it comes out frame 1, this is going to be your main option of like getting out of combos, honestly, and just landing at disadvantage with them helps too. So if you're getting comboed by a combo heavy character like Captain Falcon, Pikachu, Mario, stuff like that, like it's good to mash the B button to get the grenade out, because it could be good to take a trade, because grenades do 10%. Grenade does 10% damage, and that could help you get out of certain situations. Instead of like taking a bunch of damage, like a 50% combo, let's just say, you pull out a grenade, they take 10%, and you're able to get out of the combo. So you might eat only like a 20% combo, right? You might take like a 20% combo, and then they get hit by a grenade that does 10%. That's way much better than you taking 50% and they take nothing, if that makes sense. So that's why you see a lot of Snakes do that, because it's just better to do that in those situations rather than using air dodge, let's say. Because if you guys don't know, Snake has a frame 4 air dodge. Most characters have like a frame 3 air dodge. So Snake has a slower air dodge in this case. But to make up for it, he has a frame 1 grenade option. So it's kind of like you gotta like pick your battles, like choose your options. Do you want to pull out grenade, or do you want to try air dodge? For the most part, people are going to pull out grenade. Now, outside of that, we're going to go over the throws real quick. He has a normal throw, which is that. So you hold the B button and you release it. He has a normal throw. He also has the hard throw, which we call this. Well, we call it the hard throw, but they call it the smash throw. And I'll tell you why I personally don't call it the smash throw. So we have that, and then we have the light throw, which is the under toss. The underhand throw. They all have their own uses, but another thing to know is that when you hold the B button, you enter a grenade stance. You are free to jump and walk around, which is good because you can lead it into a grab, let's say, or you can shield drop and drop the grenade. We call those shield dropping grenades. When you shield drop a grenade, it becomes, you can pick it back up, and then you have item throws. So just to kind of give you a perspective here, when you're holding a grenade as an item, if you press the A button, he throws it like that. You see how it moves? It kind of bounces off on the ground near like the right side of the stage, and then it just keeps traveling. So I just call that a regular throw from shield dropping it. And then this is the hard throw, or we call it I call it the smash throw. And the reason I call it the smash throw is because you're using your C stick. If you have a smash stick setup, if it's smash stick, then you use the C stick, and he gets this harder throw, or a smash throw. You see how it travels much farther before it bounces on the ground, and it travels much faster as well. You can also do it by inputting a smash attack, just like F smash. If you have like tilt stick and you can't do that, you could just do it like an F smash, or you can use the Z button, and it's the same thing as well. Z button and forward, that is. So those are really all the different types of throws. They travel farther. The smash throw does more damage, actually. You see how, like, when I throw the grenade at Sora, it does 5%. You can see that from this up there. It does 5%. When I don't do that, if I just use the A button, it only does 3.7%. So the smash throw does a little bit more damage. So keep that in mind because of like how much faster it's traveling. So you kind of want to just know which throws to use. Like, you want to use the hard throws to kind of just be able to quickly get a grenade in front of your opponent's face and then like move behind it in a sense to try to see what they do to that grenade. Like, do they shield it? Do they pick it up and throw it? Do they jump over it? And then you try to figure out a counterplay for that. If you use a regular throw, which is the most common throw that's used because of the arch, so it goes over projectiles, while this one, it just goes straight in front of you, so that could block projectiles like Hadokens, missiles, you know, any form of projectile, you name it. It's going to be able to block it just by you using this throw. This will kind of like go over that, and it moves like slower, and you don't have to worry about it going off stage. Whereas if I use this throw, if they jump over it, it goes off stage. So I can't use that to pressure anything really. Whereas this one, it moves slower, it has an arch to get over stuff, and then after it hits the ground, it slowly rolls a bit forward and then it blows up. So it's still going to be like in front of the opponent, and then you can move behind it and then see what they do. So you can like move behind it like that, see what they do. You can also dash attack and pick it up and then shield as like insurance, let's just say. Do stuff like that. You could do this and then pick it up with like neutral air, stuff like that. Those are mainly the throws for those two, and then the light throw is kind of like a wall in a sense. So you're generally using this against like people that are fighting like super up close, like in your face. So you're doing the light throw, and then that's just stopping them from wanting to go in and hit you, because you're kind of just using that as offense or defense, sorry. You can also just shield drop a grenade. That'll stop an opponent from wanting to go in because you have a grenade in front of you, especially like if you roll back and do it, or if you're turned around and you shield drop it like this. This very common snake option right there. That's a very common one. Just keep in mind that the grenade blows up 2.5 seconds in. So as soon as you pull it, it's on a timer and it blows up in 2.5 seconds. Another thing to note is that if you're... So with grenade, the hitbox is bigger for your opponent rather than snake. So if I stand like over here, you see how I don't get hit by the grenade and I was pretty close to it. But with Sora, let's say I shield drop it like right here. He still got hit even though he was far away from it, right? So just note that if Snake pulls out a grenade, the hitbox is smaller for him, but bigger for the opponent. But also the roles reverse. If your opponent picks up your grenade, the roles reverse. So now the hitbox is smaller for him, but bigger for you. So keep that in mind. Always want to remember that, because that could help you out in a lot of situations on what you need to do. After that, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of things you could do. There's a lot of things to talk about with grenade. There's so much stuff you could do with it. Typically, you're going to be using it a lot in the neutral just to be able to either get in or keep your opponent out. And then if you knock them off stage, you can use them to ledge trap the opponent. So those are like the main uses for grenades. It's like a trapping tool, but also you can zone with it. You can stop people from going in. You could create trades with it as well. So if your opponent's throwing out too many attacks, you can use grenades just to force them to trade with it or hit it. Or if you're getting comboed, it's a good combo breaker just to have available as well. So if there's a character that doesn't have like an actual true combo, or your opponent as a player is just not frame tight with the combos, then frame one grenade will save you in those instances as well. The only other thing to talk about grenades, because I don't want to get too far into it, because there's just so many videos I have on grenades, and again, you could talk grenades for hours. Honestly, there's just so much stuff you could do with it. But the only last thing to really talk about is just using it as getting grenade conversions. A simple bread and butter is neutral air after the grenade, and that's really at like the super low percents. So if we get him down here, so grenade into neutral air into dash attack, that's really the simplest, well, one of the simplest bread and butters. The other one is back air. So if you have a grenade behind you and your opponent hits it and they're behind you, you get a free back air right there. And then the only other one is up air. So if your opponent is behind or between you and the grenade, you get a free up air. So those are like the simplest ones I can tell you. There's a lot more, but I would say, you know, as far as simple terms, just to keep this section short, because it's already like 11 minutes in. But yeah, that's the as simplest I'll go with like grenades. Again, if you want to know more about grenades, guys, I have a lot of videos on grenades. You can go into my playlist for SSBU tutorials and you can see all the grenade stuff I have there. So the next option, or the next special move, is going to be Nikita. You see it comes out frame 41, minus 19, minus 14 on shield. I'll explain that in a second. And then yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. So with Nikita is a remote controlled missile, so you can control it wherever you want it to go. Oh, all right, 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. So we're gonna go into the Nikita, which is his side B. With this side B, it is a remote controlled missile, so you can move it however you want. Just know that after a while it starts to slow down on its own, and then it'll just cancel out itself, and then it'll just fall, such as like this. You can also cancel it anytime by pressing the shield button, so keep that in mind too. One thing to mention is that with the side B, it does more damage as it, like, the longer it travels. In a sense, it's got to travel for a specific amount of time before it reaches max damage. In this case, you could see that I just pulled it out and hit him. I hit Sora and it did 8.4%. Whereas if I let it linger or like fly around for a bit and then hit him, it does 16. So it does double the damage just for you having it out longer. With the Nikita, it's good for covering distance, like covering people in the neutral at like far distances. So you can like have a grenade out. Let's say they keep jumping over grenades, you put the Nikita in the air and then you hit them that way. And it's good for like when they're off stage. So if they're off stage, then you can use the Nikita to try and hit them off stage and get early kills that way. One thing to note is that with the Nikita, if somebody hits it, the Nikita will kind of just steer off on its own for like a brief second. Also, the hitbox becomes inactive. I don't think I really have a way of showing that, honestly, but because it's training mode. But if, let's say, it collides with any form of hitbox, the Nikita becomes inactive for like a little bit. So it'll still fly, but if you like touch your opponent with it, they're not going to get hit by it until that brief moment is over, and then you can hit them. So keep that in mind in those situations. Now, if somebody hits it with a very strong move, let's say, then the Nikita will automatically just explode. I think I could show that to you guys. Let's see. See, like it just explodes. But also, if somebody hits it in general, you can cancel it as they hit it and it'll explode and hit them. And that's good against recoveries that can kind of just ignore the Nikita, because they could just up B, hit it, and then just go right through. So things like Mario up B, super jump punch, he can up B through the Nikita very easily. But if you cancel it at the right time as he's hitting it, he will actually get hit by the Nikita, and then you can rinse and repeat. The Nikita also has an explosion hitbox, so if I crash it onto the ground and they're near it, they will end up getting hit by it. This is very useful for just covering certain options. So if you think they're going to roll, you can like do something like that. If they're off stage and you think they're going to like air dodge into the stage, or if they're recovering low and hugging the stage, like the wall, like this, you could use Nikita to crash it into the ground to cover the air dodge into ledge. And then if they're going for the wall, you can like steer it around and then hit the stage with it. And then they'll end up getting hit by the Nikita in that sense. So it's good to have those options available and to understand the usage on that. Now, we didn't really talk about this, but landing, like you can use beer verses with grenade, of course. Beer versing with Nikita is not really the best option, but it is pretty good to go up high and then pull out a Nikita and instantly cancel it. So it acts kind of as a wall as it falls down. So you could do stuff like this, go for the ledge, Nikita falls down, and that stops the opponent from wanting to go in and hit you because they're going to get hit by Nikita. So you could do stuff like that, and then you can also like cancel it above the ledge. If they're like grabbing ledge like this, you can move it up, cancel it, and then it falls down. That's good at covering like regular get up like this. It could also cover get up attack. If they don't get up at the right time or use it at the right time, they can get hit by it. It can force your opponent to be scared and want to roll, which you can call out because you're already standing here. Or if they jump, you could try to call that out too. And if they neutral get up and then they shield like this, because they have to shield the Nikita or they respect it too much, that lets you go in and get a grab or some sort. So you could trap the opponent very effectively with Nikita as long as you know how to use it and what to expect in that sense. Same as grenades, of course. Like you can use grenades the same way, do stuff like that, so on and so forth. But you could do it also with Nikita in that sense. And that's basically it with Nikita. There's not really much else to say. You can't necessarily combo off a Nikita. Like you kind of can, but you have to be like very tight with it. It is possible though, but you don't really see it that often. You see it more off of like C4s and grenades. But yes, Nikita definitely a very strong option. If you're not comfortable like going off stage with Snake and edge guarding people, if you just want to play it safe, you could just go for Nikita and then try to hit them. Only tip I would say is that if you notice that you're not going to hit them right away, just cancel it as soon as possible. That way you have control of Snake again, because Snake has a lot of lag with this move. It takes a while to come out, and also when he cancels it, there's more lag on top of that. One thing to note too is that if an opponent is close to you, you don't necessarily want to just pull out Nikita, like here as an example, because if you hit an opponent directly or if they shield it, Snake does a fist bump animation, which you're going to see right here. See the fist bump that he does? This puts Snake in lag longer. It's only like a couple of frames, but you know, it's longer in lag, so he's laggier when he hits somebody. So if someone runs up to you and you pull out Nikita and they shield, they could potentially just hit you for doing that. So you want to be very mindful of that. So after that, the next thing we're going to go over is C4. We're going to talk about Cypher after, but we're going to go over C4 real quick. Let's pull that up. So C4 comes out frame 9. This is the C4 and this is the hitbox, very big hitbox, and it lasts 26.6 seconds and then it blows up by itself. That's very important to note. So in this case, press down B to drop the C4, you press it again to blow it up. If you do not blow it up, or you don't remember it or think about it, it'll blow up on its own, which can be very good for you or very bad for you depending on the situation. Like if you forget about it and you're just lingering around it, you're going to get hit by it. But it also might help if your opponent is lingering behind it or around it and they don't remember it and it just blows up on its own, then there's that too. So with the C4, you can stick your opponent as well. So if you do the C4 input down B, he will stick them. In this case, once stuck, after a few seconds, the C4 will automatically go back to that person. If you touch them, it will go back to them. So now it's on Snake's arm, and then if I touch him, it goes to Sora. So keep that in mind because that's very important to know. Now, the biggest thing about C4 is that there is a lot of RNG behind it. And what I mean by that is at any point, it could just literally fall off on its own, whether it be take too much damage, it might fall off, or if they get hit in general, it just might fall off on its own. There's literally no way of calculating it. It's completely RNG. C4 does have some combos after sticking them. You can do up smash into it, and that can kill incredibly early. You also have back throw into it. These are going to be at the higher percents, not low percent, as in this. It's not a true combo here. And then it also works for forward throw. Those are extremely high percents. I'm talking about like 170, 180. It does work at that point, but you have better options in that case. You don't really need to think about something like that, but that's possible to do. But yeah, the back throw into C4 confirms that it confirms from 50, 60 and on, 50, 60% and on. So that's why people always look for the back throw. And up smash can definitely kill super early. So that's why people look for either up smash into it or they look for back throw into it. So it's really up to you, but those are the main two. But outside of that, C4 is going to be your best friend as far as stage control. Just by me having it on this platform, the opponent cannot be above or under the C4, otherwise they get hit. And then that is just not good for them. C4 does 20% already as damage goes, so it's a lot of damage, it kills, and it controls stage. So very, very important tool to be using for Snake because it just covers so much. So right here, this covers this platform. So either your opponent has to be back here in the corner, which gives you a lot of stage control, or they have to move up and be center stage, which in this case you could try to pressure them by just keeping grenades around and Nikitas around and all that other stuff. So you can just control stage just by having one C4 on the stage. You can also set up some ledge trap situations. You can have C4 right here, use up smash, let's say, so they're going to be scared to jump or roll into you. So then you could just blow up the C4 if they use neutral get up attack, or if they just wait on ledge for too long, stuff like that. You can also do it off stage, so drop it off of the stage and then blow it up, and then you could delay it if they decide to go super low as far as the recovery goes. So those are the main uses for C4. It's good to just drop and explode too. If you think your opponent is going to be coming up and trying to hit you or jumping up and trying to hit you, you can B reverse a C4 and then blow it up that way. And then you can just mix it up with air dodge, back airs, etc, etc. So that's the main thing with C4. Those are your main uses for it, and overall, it's just a good tool, so definitely use it as much as possible. And then the last one is going to be Snake's up B, which is his Cypher. Now the Cypher, keep in mind that it is a damage based armor, as it says here, which starts on frame 7. So what that means is that when Snake takes a specific amount of damage, he will get knocked out of the cipher. In this case, it would be 7% for him to get knocked out of the cipher if it's a single hit move. Now, if it is a multi-hit, let's say like Ness forward air, it has to do 15.6% to be able to knock Snake out of the cipher. There's not a lot of multi-hits that really do that much damage. So for the most part, as multi-hits goes, you more than likely aren't going to get knocked out of cipher. The main things is to keep out for is just strong aerials in general, like Ganondorf up air or back air, something like that. Rob down air or back air. You know, Mennonite nair. You know, stuff that that could do like more than 7%. You have to be careful of, because of that sole reason that you could just end up getting knocked out of the cipher. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. It wasn't 7%. It was 8.4%. I'm sorry. Has to do more than 8.4%. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so it has to do that much damage. They have to do that much damage to you to knock you out of the cipher. Also keep in mind that Cypher actually has a hitbox after he lets go of it. It flies straight up, as you see. It generates a hitbox. So you can use it like this and get people off of you, so that way you can get onto stage or get off of the ledge. Do stuff like that. Now with Cypher, Snake's recovery, I'm just going to let you guys know right now, we have a lot of disadvantage tutorials with Snake. So if you want to learn more about recovering with Snake and just getting out of disadvantage, definitely look for those videos. It's in my playlist. It's called SSBU tutorials, so you can check those out. For the most part though, Snake usually wants to go up high and then try to land with like B reverses or fast fall neutral air dodge, or he can land with an aggressive option like back air or something like that. So those are like the main things here with Snake. You typically want to go high, but you can also mix it up and like cancel it by holding down. You can hold down to cancel it and then just go for the ledge. You can also use anything you want to cancel it, whether it's like an aerial, whether it's like pulling out a projectile, really anything, or even an air dodge. So you can cancel it with whatever you want, but when you start the up B, he is open for a little bit before you can actually cancel it. So just keep that in mind. You can't just like instantly do it and then cancel out of the cipher or drop out of the cipher. So you have to like wait for that specific amount of time. But yeah, going low is definitely scary for Snake just because he's an open target. He's open in general altogether. It's just you want to go high because it's usually harder for the opponent to go up there and hit you, unless it's an opponent that knows how to go off stage or is using a character that is very comfortable going off stage, can go far off stage, or has like a really high jump. Then they can go up and like hit you for actually going up high. So there is going to be like some cases where it's just better to go low and go for the ledge rather than going up high. Or you can fake them, go up high, and then go low, and then go for like the ledge or something. Outside of that, the cipher for going low, since it's a hitbox, if someone hits it with the move, their attack will last longer, aka their hitbox will last longer, and you could potentially get 2 frame for that. So in these situations where you like air dodge up into the ledge, and let's just say Snake is charging his forward smash like this on the receiving end, he can hit the cipher, which extends the hitbox, so the F smash hitbox lasts longer, and you can get hit for air dodging up. So the counter for that is you want to press down to let go of the cipher, and then you air dodge up into the ledge. So you're just delaying the extended hitbox that your opponent is using off of the cipher. So that's going to be like your go-to as far as if you see someone just charging a smash attack or something like that on the ledge. That's what you want to do. Other than that, that's generally it. You just want to go up high, try to land. You can go low. For the most part though, get comfortable going high if you're picking up this character. Don't always go low or go super low, because those are good options, but you don't want to always go for it. And if you're not going to make it, of course you could see for yourself, up B again, stuff like that. You can also do it with grenade. If you're too high in percent, you can grab a grenade and then up B again. So you could do stuff like that as well. It's just really what you think is going to be best for you, as far as like the recovery goes. But yeah, generally, again, just going up high helps out a lot, so get used to that. Anyways, that's it for this video on the special attacks. If you guys like the content, like and subscribe. I have other social media platforms down in the description down below: Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, etc. Check it out. Feel free to support me. Other than that, thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Never duplicate you, never multiply too. Everyone copy and paste, mask all up in on their face. Disney fantasy and PH, they are cool with their complacent. You feel it in you, then you brush it off you. Insignificant, but you got something we want, and your whole life is a taunt, cause you will not just comply. Waking up for your day.